Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name's Amanda and today I'm gonna give you the first in what I hope to be a series called Theater Horror Stories, a Storytime series. I have been doing community theater productions, all that sort of stuff ever since I was 10 years old. I still from time to time dabble in it. And from that I have a lot of stories from horrible productions, from good productions that went bad, just a lot of entertainment for you guys. So I wanted to share it with you. And this one is probably one of my favorite stories that I tell people, especially when they ask, like, have you ever had a bad theatrical experience? What was your most embarrassing moment on stage? This is it. This is gonna be the story time where I tell you about the time I practically walked out on stage naked and had the curtain fall on my head. And without further ado, like this video if you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have, please click that little bell icon, all that good stuff. Let's get into the video. So this story takes place my sophomore year of high school. I was super excited because I had gotten my first leading role in a school play. We were doing Into the Woods and I got Cinderella, and it was so exciting. I remember the day very vividly. One of the few moments where I could say I was like the happiest I had ever been. Cut to the show later on in the process. We had ordered all of these really beautiful costumes for the show, and there's a moment at the end of Act 1 where Cinderella has to go from her like rags into her beautiful ball outfit quite quickly. The rag costume was just like a regular sort of dress, had a little bandana, nothing very intricate. The ball gown was a like 3 or 4 piece costume with like petticoats and hoop skirts and the whole shebang. It looked really beautiful. The rehearsal process for this show was a little insane, and we had never been able to run the show in its entirety before opening night, which is really bad. But you know, we had run through these acts before, and every single time, while it was difficult, I had about 4 costume handlers that were helping me put this on, and it would go over, you know, well. I will also say these girls, I was a sophomore, so I was like 15 at the time. These girls were freshmen. We were 14 years old, had little to no experience with like actual, you know, costume changes. This was high school, you know, this was a high school production. So it's opening night of the show, and everything's going fairly well. Everything's going kind of according to plan. Now, it was Act 1, end of Act 1, it was singing my song, you know, or my part in the song. I had just finished in my rags costume, and I had to go off stage on one side, run behind the stage, and go to the other side to put on the rest of my costume. Who decided on that blocking? I don't know, was not me. But I had to run to the other side of the stage, and for some reason these girls could not get it right. And now I was entering the stage with Cinderella's prince, and we had to, you know, we like had to walk on together. I think we sang a little bit together. If you know Into the Woods, you know what I'm talking about. I haven't listened to it in a while, so I don't quite remember, but I believe we walk out together and we sing something, and then it's like the end of the first act and everybody sings together and whatever. They had gotten the top part of my dress, because that was really only one piece of clothing. No, wait, the top, what was not on? I'm trying to remember exactly, because the show only happened maybe 3 times, like total. It was like a 1 weekend sort of a show. And I'm pretty sure we never were able to get my costume fully on ever. But this one was the worst one, because I'm pretty certain, for whatever reason, these girls were not able to put either the top half of my dress or the bottom half of my dress on in time for me to walk out on stage. So we had gotten it most of the way, but my entire back was open, and we had to go on. We had to sing. It's a song. It's not like anybody could improv their way through a Sondheim song. It's just not. I mean, if you can, call me, because I want to talk to you. So I'm freaking the fuck out because I'm essentially naked, and there's choreography that we all have to do where I'm pretty certain I have to turn around. My prince came in clutch that day, and we wanted to walk out together anyway, so he just held the back of my costume together with all of his might and didn't let go. We walked on stage, I sang my part, I was literally mortified, praying for the song to be over because my back was totally exposed, everybody, it's the closing number of the first act, so everybody's on stage, the ensemble's behind me, everybody who's behind me and possibly even watching on the side of the stage can see that your girl is like petticoat, ass out, bra out, like it's a scene. So I'm stressed out, he's stressed out because now he feels like he has to help a hoe and hold my costume together. And we're singing through the song and we're just getting through it and praying, and it's almost over. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, okay, this is an awful, awful moment, but I will have made it and it's just gonna be funny very soon. Well, since we had pretty much foregone the choreography for the sake of my nudity, we forgot that we had to move from the front of the stage to behind the curtain line so that the curtain could drop and end the act. We had forgotten that little detail, and we were literally on the line where the curtain was falling. Everybody else had moved back, we are still there because we're not thinking about that. My prince was taller than me, and he happened to notice that the curtain was falling before I did, and he was moving back while still holding me while I was completely unaware that this was happening. Long story short, the curtain fell directly onto my head and brought me down with it as it's closing. Luckily, in that moment, I immediately found it to be like the funniest thing ever. I was not mortified. I'm not even really mortified talking about it now. I'm only really mortified because I feel like I should be mortified. You know, that's a pretty decently embarrassing moment. Everybody backstage was like, oh my God, are you like so upset? Like, you know, I would be mortified. I was just like, I don't really have time to be mortified. I gotta get ready for the next act. Everybody was in the audience that I knew. My parents were there, my grandparents were there, my freaking cousins were there, my freaking neighbors were there, all my school was there, like everybody was there and everybody saw the mistake that just occurred. Like I said earlier, we were literally never able to do it properly, the change. We had done it in rehearsal. For the shows, I don't know what the f happened, but we just weren't able to ever complete it properly. And that's that. That's my first theater horror story time for you guys. If you liked this, you wanna see more, again, click that like button. If you like me, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting videos. That's that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!